Hello and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Monday, the 27th of July. I'm your host Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Ukraine has hit an Iranian ship in the Caspian Sea, Taiwan is going to copy Ukraine's sea drone playbook, and the Houthis have struck a Saudi energy site. So firstly, Ukraine struck vessels carrying Iranian military cargo bound for Russia in the Caspian Sea on the 25th of July, killing one sailor and prompting Tehran to summon Kiev's charge d'affaires in process, so their ambassador, or some kind of political figure, I guess. The strike opens a fourth maritime front after the Strait of Hormuz, the Red Sea, and the Black Sea, and directly targets the Iran to Russia arms corridor that has sustained Shahed drones supplying the front. It is the first time Kiev has reached into the Caspian Sea, a body of water both Moscow and Tehran long treated as a safe rear echelon corridor. So what? The Iran, Russia, and Ukraine theatres of conflict are likely fusing into a single interconnected logistical trouble set, especially for the West, with the US air defense missiles kind of running low and Western support towards Ukraine not struggling but becoming a bit more limited. These are all kind of fusing together, and it's also hurting the economy just in general. Kiev is highly likely to keep hunting this arms corridor wherever it continues to go, including further Caspian Sea operations. Kiev's made it clear now that they can hit ships in that sea, so it being a safe corridor for arms movement is no longer the case. But a formal Iranian military response beyond diplomatic protest is unlikely in the near term, given they're currently stretched with the conflict against the US. Basically, they don't really have the capability to do anything against Ukraine, and it's unlikely they would, fire missiles towards Ukraine. That would be an interesting escalation, in my opinion. And next, Taiwan is moving to acquire unmanned surface vessels and underwater drones, with the United States explicitly citing Ukraine's Black Sea campaign against Russia as the template for countering China. Taipei also confirmed a deal to co-produce the domestically developed Mighty Hornet 1 attack drone, signaling a shift towards cheap, mass-produced, attritable systems. The pivot comes even as Taiwan's legislature cut its special defense packages, leaving the ambition underfunded against the threat Taipei says is accelerating. So what? The UK to Taiwan lessons transfer is now almost certainly established as a doctrine rather than just analytical speculation from intelligence commentators like myself. The sea and underwater drones are likely a way to complicate any Chinese strait crossing at relatively low cost. From what I understand, the general doctrine would be to turn the Taiwanese straits into an absolute hellscape using cheap drones, both sea, underwater, and air. As you can imagine, assaulting across an open body of water with that many drones in the air would be absolutely unreal. And Taiwan fielding these systems at a meaningful scale before 2027 is going to be a big ask, given the budget cuts. I need to probably look more into these budget cuts, but it seems like an interesting time to be doing that sort of stuff. But lastly, Houthi forces have struck a Saudi energy infrastructure this week, widening the spillover from the US and Israeli war on Iran across the Gulf. The attack lands as Washington maintains a naval blockade around the Strait of Hormuz, and as Iran's maritime approaches come under pressure from several directions at once. We just talked about the Caspian Sea thing. It also follows a fresh US and Saudi civil nuclear cooperation deal, marking the timed, appointed reminder of the war's widening reach. So what? The war's economic costs are likely going to keep landing on Gulf states rather than Iran alone, and also globally. This is hurting energy prices, and it's also going to start damaging the cost of everything as shipping becomes more complicated. The Houthis almost certainly see sea attacks The Houthis almost certainly see attacks on Saudi energy as their cheapest way to raise the war's price, and it also complicates US support in the region. A negotiated pause on the Yemen front is unlikely as Tehran values dispersing the US and Saudi attention. It makes sense. Make them fight on multiple fronts and complicate the problem set for them, and also just spread them out. I can see why they'd want to do this. But anyway, that's been the Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you.